Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jake Hill Racing YouTube channel, where today we're at my home, Brands Hatch, and my favourite circuit in the UK. I absolutely love it. Now, we're in something slightly different today. They're not racing cars, instead they're trying to be track cars, and it's something a little bit unusual, which is the Aston Martin Vantage. Now we have a V12 and a V8 version, so come on in and let's have a little look around. So the V12 version just here, this is pretty cool actually. I think we'll all agree the green is absolutely beautiful, mixed with the bronze wheels, really lovely bit of kit. So I'm really looking forward to going out in this. I have no idea what it's going to be like. To be totally honest, most Astons I've ever driven are terrible on circuit. There's no two ways about it. So I'm excited to see whether it's actually going to be a good bit of kit or not, and we'll do an honest review on it and see what it's like really. Now these are both owned by Richard from Challenge the Road on YouTube. I got to know Richard a little while ago and he's invited me down to do some testing work with the V12 and the V8 Vantage. So we're going to jump in the V12 first, see what we think, and if we need to make some changes to the setup. This is on KW variant 3s. And they're both on Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss as well. So at least they're both on the same tyre, but very, very different. This is a lot heavier with more power, and the Vantage is quite a bit lighter with obviously less power. But I'm excited to see which one is going to be best. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Challenge the Road V12 Vantage. Let's see what it's all about. We're just going to warm it up. We're at Brands Indy, beautiful day. It's nice and sunny, quite cold, but nice and sunny. We're just going to get into it, warm this old girl up, see what it's actually like. There you go, let Alex go in his Skyline. He's on it, he knows where he's going. So we're on a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, not your typical track day tyres. They're definitely a really good road tyre, but nonetheless, it's you know, you just want to do a test and see what these tyres are like, really, which I don't blame him. So just getting our head into it. Get a little bit of ABS kicking in now. There we go. I'll give it one thing, the engine does sound really good. It's got good pull as well. I'm actually quite surprised how much power it feels like it's got. The pedals are good for hill and towing. Got no problem getting the right downshift and blipping that throttle, which is nice. Here we go. Let's see what this change has done. So we've come down 2 turns on the spring platform, so that equals 2 turns of ride height, and we're just going to see if we've managed to get some of that weight and that feel of the rear not wandering around as much at the back. In theory, that's exactly what it should have done, is just calmed it down a bit at the rear. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. We'll warm it up. So always important, track day users, if you've not really done much track stuff before, always warm it up and cool it back down properly. Yeah, don't just go out and just start going for it full commitment, because you know you end up really hurting stuff by shocking it into heat. So just take your time with it, build it up. There's no harm in just doing a couple of warm-up laps, brakes up to temperature, tyres back up to temperature, and obviously just get yourself back into the groove as well with the lines. But at the same time, be aware of traffic. All right, there's nothing worse than someone just divvying around in the middle of the road whilst someone else behind. Perfect example, this Caterham behind here, he's on a bit of a hot lap. Fair play to the guy, just let him have it, there's no harm. Just roll out the throttle, let him crack on, he's having a lovely time. And then once you're ready to go, then you can start getting on with it, and hopefully if you're kind to others, they'll be nice to you in return and move out of the way when it's your turn to have a bit of a go. So yeah, a bit of respect, bit of, you know, being observant goes a long way for the track stuff. So same again, once you've done your session as we have now, make sure that you cool the car off properly, allow really good airflow through the brakes, you know, through the tyres, let everything cool down, and yeah, just, you know, get out of the way of people as well who are coming through. You know, you've got this guy in his Clio having a great time, just about to come through now. Why not? Let them have it, you know. But yeah, make sure you cool your cars down. If not, you're going to end up breaking stuff. Well, there we go. I've just done my first, you know, driving sessions in the V12. It's been good fun, actually. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, 100%. It's still not the best track car in the world, you know, you've got to be honest. It's heavy, the brakes are really good, the engine's really good, but you can feel that V12 hanging over the front axle, and that's the problem. You know, no matter how much I try and calm the rear down, you know, we made some front damper improvements, we lowered the rear ride height to try and take some rake out of the car and obviously make the whole thing a little bit calmer, which definitely helped, but ultimately there's only so far you can go. So I've really enjoyed driving it, but I am quite excited to see if the Vantage, the V8 Vantage, is going to be any better. So we're going to be jumping into this beauty next. This has a lot more work done to it. It's on GT4 front splitter, carbon bonnet, rear wing, so it's aesthetically got some much better things about it, but mainly the weight, and that where the weight is as well. The V8 engine is sat quite a lot lower and further back in the engine bay, whereas the V12, there's simply no room for it to go. It's just sat in the, you know, smack bang in the middle of the engine bay right at the front. So hopefully this one's going to handle quite a lot better. So yeah, we're going to do some work with this one as well, see if we need to make some improvements, but hopefully this one's going to be better. So again, let's jump in this one, see how we get on. Okay, here we go. Right, V8 time. Who doesn't love a V8, eh? Let's see what this one's all about. Supposedly this one is a lot better than the V12. I've never driven either, so it's all a bit new to me. So yeah, see how we get on. The seats make a big difference straight away. You know, you feel really part of the car, which is helpful. Pole positions, I gotta love a Recaro pole position. They're such a good seat. You know, you put them in any car, it makes you feel mega. So I'm glad we've got that at least. That's a really positive thing. Oh, that V8 sounds good. She does sound good, I'll give it that. mate, this car just feels so much better than the V12. Not to mention, of course, the handling, you know, it's that V8 is doing a good job. It sounds the nuts. Definitely is not as much power, not as much torque, but this is a much better track car for sure. The other one is definitely more of a grand touring car, you know, across Europe, something to have a nice time in. Whereas this one feels lovely on track, so much more balanced, really good car. This is a really good bit of kit. I'm actually enjoying this, you know, I really am. This is a really nice bit of kit. I'm so surprised, just because normally, you know, Astons are not good track cars, you know, they really aren't. But this one is a bit of an exception, I must say. It's alright, it's got a really good balance, good power. Yeah, feels good. I'm liking it a lot. That's a lot better. I was actually shocked to see how much better that car is. It's night and day different, to be honest. I mean, I know Richard was trying to build that one to be more like, you know, more of a grand touring car that you can do some track work in. And do you know what? It's fine for that. But if you want to do some more dedicated track work, then for sure the V8 Vantage has to be the one. The car is so much more balanced. The weight is in a lot more of the, you know, the places it should be. So much, it's just so much more set up. The only thing I'd wish for is that the ceramic brakes were on this car, because that would make the whole thing so much nicer. The brakes we've got on there now are just, you know, upgraded steel brakes, which are obviously good for sure, but the ceramics would be a lot nicer. That initial pedal feel just isn't quite there that we have with the V12, but the rest of it is really nice. Everything else about it, a lot of it is in the seat of your pants with those pole position Recaros that we're sat in. You know, they are so much nicer to drive with. Again, with the V12, you just feel like you're sat on top of it a lot more. So I've really enjoyed driving it. Huge thank you to Richard from Challenge the Road, and hopefully we can do more with these babies in the future. See you soon.